Hi, welcome to What the House TV. We're so happy to be back here today with Jacqueline and Melissa and Bree. We're going to talk about title and escrow and how it differs between state to state, because some states are title states and some states are attorney states. What does that mean?
Yes, so obviously we are here in Arizona. Arizona is what is called an escrow state. Most of the East Coast is run on what they call attorney states, meaning if you use the word escrow officer to someone who is sold or purchased in New York, they're not going to have any idea who or what you are talking about. They use an attorney for their transaction. So even on the West Coast, it is mostly escrow states, but even Southern California to Arizona has a difference, where in Southern California, it's very typical to have an independent escrow company and a separate title company. So you would then have two people on one transaction, one for the escrow, one for the title. Here in Arizona, we do use one company. We're very easy, very streamlined. But yes, you have attorney states and then escrow states. So most of the West Coast states are escrow. Most of the attorney states are on the East Coast.
So knowing that, keeping that in mind, like what as a home buyer or homeowner and refinancing, going for a new loan, purchase, whatever it may be, what do I need to look out for when I'm looking for an escrow officer or a title company? What do I need to know?
So the biggest things, especially if it's a refi, you're going to be fee driven. So you want to make sure you're working with a title company or an escrow company that has very competitive rates. You already either purchased the home and paid quite a lot, so now you're looking to not spend so much money to do kind of the same process again with either refinancing for a lower loan rate, whatever it might be.
Right.
So you really want to make sure to shop rates, of course, and then again, it goes back to relationship, making sure that you know that person is accountable and you can get a hold of them at any time in case any problems do arise.
And then let's talk about when you're purchasing a home. So in Arizona in particular, the home buyer has the legal right to choose the title company.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know it's written in the contract that the buyer chooses.
Good point. So sometimes it's just you get who you get and you didn't realize that you're with a title company that may not be as good as Rock Title.
Yes. So yeah, and it also, obviously as a buyer or seller, you might not be familiar specifically with a title company or an escrow company. So a lot of times it does defer to the agent in the transaction and who they have a relationship with to know who's going to be great at doing it. So it's not always the buyer seller's choice, but a lot of people do shop around. We'll get calls, my buyer wants to shop some rates. Can you give us an idea of what the cost would be for a purchase price of this, loan amount of that? And we're of course always happy to help with that as well.
Perfect. So looking for rates if you're a homeowner.
Yes.
Looking for solid reputation, whether it's Google reviews or recommendations of your lender or your realtor, any other things that are really crucial for the homeowner to look out for.
I would say really the homeowner, it's a little bit different, but the biggest things is there's certain things that can happen during escrow that could cause, we'll call it a hiccup. We never like to use the word problem, but can cause a hiccup. So here in Arizona, we are a community property state. So that means if you are a current owner of a home and you bought it as an unmarried man or woman and get married while either owning the home or even during the escrow, that spouse now has to sign and notarize a disclaimer deed waiving their rights and interests to the property.
So meaning the wife can't go out and refinance, or the husband can't go out and refinance the house and take money out without the other spouse knowing.
Correct. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that because they think, oh, well, I purchased it on my own before we were married. Yes, but again, being community property state, the law does still apply even though they did not have any rights or ownership at the beginning of the purchase.
That's a really, really good tidbit piece of information. So anything else? Bree, you want to add anything?
Make sure your escrow officer has a solid reputation.
Good. Thanks so much for joining us today. I love you two ladies. And Melissa, she always knows in her contracts the right title and escrow agent to use. So I so love you guys joining us today.
Thank you.
Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe.